Republic, and we are bringing to you a big exclusive. Is there a turning point right now in Rajasthan politics? And the man that you see on your screens, look at him very, very closely and carefully. He's a sacked minister right now, but he's still a Congress MLA. His name is Mr. Gouda. Now, he is waving a red diary. If you look very closely, these are images of a press conference earlier today. Now, what this man says is that this red diary contains secrets of Ashok Gehlot. He's also alleging this has details of all the corruption under the Ashok Gehlot regime. Now, Ashok Gehlot till now has not responded to those charges, but this is a story that has been broken and carried forward only and only by one network, that is Republic. It was on Saturday that this man spoke to us on Republic. He spoke about the red diary, and ever since you're seeing this story becoming bigger and bigger. Rajendra Gouda and his red diary, what possibly does it contain? That's a question everyone is asking, and so is the former Union Minister and a BJP MP, Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore ji, who's joining us on the broadcast right now. Rathore ji, thank you so much for speaking to us on Republic. How do you see this story? You know, what are the legitimate questions today people should be asking?
Okay.
What does this red diary contain?
All right, so let's look at things very factually. The story is well known that there was an agency which was raiding one of the Congress MLAs or ministers, or no, he's a very important person, supposedly the right-hand man of Gehlot Sahab. Now, when agencies were raiding his house, there was only one person who could sort of break in that curfew, go in and extract this very important document. And that person was Rajendra Gouda. At that point of time, Ashok Gehlot's blue-eyed boy, he was the one who was chosen, and in a very heroic way, he went in and extracted that diary from there. In fact, Ashok Gehlot Sahab at some one point of time commented, you know, that you should be a Hollywood hero for doing that. Now, the same person, obviously, so obviously this diary is very important to Gehlot Sahab. And we also know that in Rajasthan, there's been, for the last 4.5 years, there's been massive amounts of corruption. And let this not be, because I'm from BJP, this has been stated by their own MLAs who are in Congress. They are the ones who've written letters to the Chief Minister, for example, saying that the mafia for mining is your mafia minister himself. Now, we also know that in Rajasthan, there's been a record number of paper leaks, 16 times. And these paper leaks, apart from destroying lives of about 60 to 70 lakh youth, let's not talk about that. Let's focus on the corruption right now. So this, all these papers that are being leaked out were going to certain academies being run by, obviously, children of certain ministers. So there's a whole scam going on in Rajasthan. Thirdly, to maintain, the only thing that they've successfully been able to do in Rajasthan is to maintain their chief ministership. And for that, Ashok Gehlot gave a free hand to all his MLAs. They do what you want, just keep your integrity with me, so that the chief ministership is maintained. And so therefore there was massive amounts of loot and corruption going on in Rajasthan. So perhaps this red diary now has details of all the money that was paid to the senior leadership of Congress, people in AICC, perhaps so that Gehlot Sahab's ascendancy and his importance remains over the other rivals. It could also have details of, for example, the money, the 1 kg of gold and many crores of rupees that was found in the secretariat itself. Obviously, it was meant to go somewhere. The election campaigns that Rajasthan has been funding from the ill-gotten money, maybe the details are there. Rajendra Gouda, I just heard, also said that in 1992, there was a very, very sorry case wherein about 250 girls of class 11th and 12th were raped over a period of time. They were blackmailed into it. Some of them committed suicide. I believe there's a movie coming out on that, in which Congress office bearers were involved. Everybody knows that. The first reporter who got that story out was killed in the hospital the second time, since he didn't die with the first attempt. It was Congress office bearers. I believe some of the office bearers, some of those people involved in that are ministers today in Rajasthan Congress cabinet. So obviously this red diary is the Bahi Khata, the whole record of all the corruption that Congress has done.
Now, you are saying, Mr. Rathore, that this is the Bahi Khata of the Congress's corruption. I do remember corruption is that one issue that got the Congress down badly, especially the UPA2 government. Now, going ahead, you're looking at a winter election in the state of Rajasthan. Now, tell me something, how big is this issue of corruption, particularly when it comes to Ashok Gehlot and this alleged diary? And can this man who says, I have a lot of secrets, I know about this red diary, he's flashing this red diary, can he be really taken on face value considering he's speaking only after he's sacked?
Yes, he is speaking only after he is sacked, but he is the one person who saved the Congress government when they went into minority about 2 years ago. He was the one who got about 6 MLAs on the side of the Congress and saved the Congress government. So he's also one of their saviors. He's also the one who has extracted this diary. So he's an important man. And that is the reason he was made a minister. Now, you asked me a question about corruption and what is happening in Rajasthan and will that affect the elections. Now, for the 4.5 years, there's been no development of Rajasthan. For example, for the youth, I mentioned that, there have been massive amounts of paper leaks happening. Leave aside the unemployment guarantee which the Congress government gave in the manifesto. Leave aside that, even that was not available, but the paper leaks were happening. The farmers were promised that their loans would be waived off in 10 days. Very dramatically, again, if you remember, 1 to 10 and 10 days, your loan waiver will be waived off. All of that has not happened. Look at the case of women in Rajasthan. Rajasthan has the highest number of rape cases in the entire country for the last 3 years. 17 girls are raped on an average every day, and yet they will do sloganeering on women's rights. Ladki hu, lad sakti hu, but not a single day has Priyanka Vadra ever gone to any of the victims' house. So be it the women, be it farmers, be it youth, they have not done anything for Rajasthan. And all this ill-gotten money, there's enough amount of money which they've extracted out of Rajasthan. They've used it for their personal purposes. They've used it for their own party purposes. And all of that is perhaps mentioned in that. And besides this red diary, I think it's all mentioned in our psyche, in the psyche of every Rajasthani, what Rajasthan government has done to us.
I think what you're saying is extremely important. That's a very serious allegation, to be raised. And like I said, the only response that has come in from the Congress and from the Chief Minister is this is a personal matter. This is an internal matter. In fact, he said of the party. Now, I again have some very obvious questions that I want you to respond because you understand the politics of Rajasthan far better than all of us. The very day that this minister, the sacked minister, when he speaks in the assembly and he is trying to show Ashok Gehlot the mirror, he says, look at what's happening in Rajasthan. He cited the figures that you also cited from the NCRB. And he said, then talk about Manipur. He is sacked. Now, clearly one would ask that what made Ashok Gehlot so restless, so nervous and afraid that he had to sack a person possibly who isn't even a heavyweight, according to the Congress themselves. Why do you think he sacked him?
Because he touched a raw nerve, and he's a minister. Remember, when a minister is speaking in the assembly or in the parliament, he's speaking on behalf of the government. So before he was sacked, he in fact, as government of Rajasthan, confessed to the fact that we've been unable to secure our women in Rajasthan, that we failed in providing safety to the women in Rajasthan. So that's a very big embarrassment to the Congress government at a very sensitive time, mind you. Again, we are very close to the elections. And Ashok Gehlot Sahab has also been trying to sort of solidify his position. He's having opposition from within the Congress. Of people pulling the strings there. He has tried to maintain his position by perhaps all means. And that is also recorded in the diary. One wonders as to how come all these senior office bearers of Congress are not heeding to, let's say, the other group, but they are only listening to Ashok Gehlot. He seems to have everyone in his pocket. Now, one of the common reasons for that could be the payoffs that Ashok Gehlot is doing to everyone. And perhaps all of that is recorded in that diary. And that's the reason he has nothing to say, but to say that, this is an internal matter. This is a family matter. Which family? This family has been fighting with each other. And Rajendra Guda is not even from the Congress family. He's an independent MLA. He gave support to Ashok Gehlot during crisis to save his government. So he's been a hero at one time. Now he's a villain. So Ashok Gehlot decides who becomes a hero and who becomes a villain. So Rajasthan has been totally looted. They have done corruption of all kinds. They are pulling each other apart within Congress, and they have done nothing. And so therefore, they are in a dilemma for the next couple of months. The other day, very interestingly, he was telling a journalist, the journalist asked that, where are you going to get all this money that you are announcing that money will be distributed to the people? He says, Jadoo se lekar aunga. So this is the same way as he said to those MLAs who he said were jumping the fence and going over to the BJP supposedly. He was saying, if you've gotten money, if you spend the money, I will give you money. That is crores of rupees. Where is he going to get that money from? From his salary? No. So obviously, this is a whole drama going on in Rajasthan, and Rajasthan has suffered.
Okay, you say this is just drama, Rajasthan is suffering. Sir, tell me something. You made the reference to the AICC headquarters and a possible link that the Red Diary could have to the headquarters in Delhi. Now, are we to believe that Ashok Gehlot, who calls himself that Jadugar that you just also touched upon, he is doing all this under his own volition? Is he beyond the control of the High Command, or the High Command is equally complicit and aware of what is going on right now in the state?
No, I think High Command is very much hand in glove with Ashok Gehlot. They are doing it in connivance with each other. He has been the main source of provider to them for some time. And therefore, because he's in that very important position of being a provider, he has been untouchable in the sense of all the opposition that he's facing. The other person who's trying to stand up against Ashok Gehlot has been sort of rubbed into the ground. There's nothing left of that person's politics anymore. So therefore, Ashok Gehlot is totally in connivance with the family, supposed family that runs Congress.
And do you believe somewhere that he could be arm twisting the center also? Because what Rajendra Guda said, sir, is very serious. He said during the raids that happened by the Enforcement Directorate, he said it was Ashok Gehlot, the Chief Minister, who himself called me and said, जाकर वो डायरी लेकर आओ, उस डायरी को destroy करो, उस डायरी में बहुत कुछ important information है. Now this has been in the public domain for the last, some time. We haven't seen anyone from the Congress reacting. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, both have done various trips for the state of Rajasthan in the last, many months. Do you see them tackling this issue head on, or you believe this is going to be their Achilles heel that the Congress will not be able to deal with?
All the ill deeds of Priyanka Vadra and Rahul Gandhi, all their ill deeds that they had been doing all this while has now caught up with them. What they were trying to do with others within their party, arm twist them, blackmail them, coerce them, is now happening with them as well. So this connivance is there for sure, but I don't think so. The connivance is there with the family having an upper hand. I think in Congress the family no longer has an upper hand, and there are a coterie of people who are sort of living off each other. And so the family, Ashok Gehlot and everybody seems to be living off each other, and then living off Rajasthan or living off any of the state that they're winning. They make false promises, come there, they no longer have the money to live up to their promises, and then they just try and extract as much as possible from the state. They've been doing that for many, many years across the country. Now they're doing it on the states where they are governing right now.